Happy Tuesday. Let me make sure everything is going well. I'm going to get Instagram on in just a second. There we go. Yay. Okay. We're on, and let me make sure I can see all the questions. Perfect. Let's put you here. I think I can do this action. Okay. Hey, happy Tuesday, you guys. If you are new to my channel, I am Steph David Koloa Inui. I am trying to just do 15, 20 minutes of questions that make health, wellness, fitness, nutrition relatable, and also just breaking down real questions. What's up, Corey? Hi, Haley. Okay, let me just get on and make sure everything is here. Do I want to share the chat? I'm not going to share the chat, but I see all the questions. We're here. Okay. I was not able to post the exact question from a woman from California. However, the gist of the question was, hey, I see you use meal prep subscriptions like Mega Fit Meals. I've also used Trifecta Nutrition. It was a layered question, but a great question. Is it worth subscribing to these meal prep companies? What's the average cost? And kind of everything in between. So this is one of my favorite questions. I'm just going to break down the math of meal prep, which many of you may or may not want to hear this, but this is a huge thing that people skip when they're meal prepping. If someone's going to come up to me and they're like, hey, I want to start meal prepping, my number one question is going to be like, why? Is it because there's this assumption that meal prep is just to lose weight. Some people meal prep to save money. Some people are meal prepping because they're so overwhelmed that it's just easier if you just tell them what to eat so that they can preserve their brain space for everything else. Sometimes people are meal prepping because they undereat. Some people are meal prepping because they overeat. Some people are meal prepping to gain weight. And then there's the combination of in between. And so that's number one. The second layer to that is, what meal or meals are you meal prepping for? That's going to dictate another series of things, right? Is it like, and this is like kind of like coaching, it's like you have to audit, where are you failing? Is breakfast the issue, right? If I look at my hand, most people eat anywhere from 4 to 5 times a day. It's kind of like morning, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, something in between there. So are the snacks the issue? Is the lunch the issue? Is the dinner the issue? Is it a combination of it? And so all of these are going to factor into the question, like, is meal prep worth it? Now, let's make it easy. Let's say you just don't want to think about lunch. You don't want to think about dinner. Generally speaking, Trifecta Nutrition Mega Fit meals are really, really great if well, let me take it back. I use these subscriptions a little differently. For example, these subscriptions have pre-made meals. I don't do the pre-made meals. I just buy my protein in bulk because cooking protein and making sure that it's not undercooked, overcooked takes so much time for me. So for me, I bulk order my protein for the month. The reason that I say for a month is that's how I save money on shipping, right? All these kind of subscription companies, it's kind of like what the food is based on, and also the shipping. So I would say one hack for sure is, if you're trying to save money, is do the math. How much protein are you eating? How much protein do you need? How many meals do you need, right? If you're just ordering lunch and you're ordering lunch Monday to Friday and you're ordering lunch for the month, then 5 meals times 4 weeks is 20 meals, right? That's really easy, lunch. If you're doing lunch and dinner, or let's say for a lot of people, they're really not doing dinner 5 days a week. They're doing dinner maybe 3 times a week. Like they just don't want to think about food 3 times a week. The 2 other days of the week, they can either figure it out or eat out, right? So 3 dinners times 4 weeks, that's 12 meals. Do the math. Is your time worth it? Now, these are for pre-made meals. If you are doing bulk protein like myself, generally these packs of chicken or beef or fish, they come in they usually come in 16 ounces. They come in 1 pound. And so these trays of beef or chicken, they're either 4 4-ounce servings or 3 5-ounce servings, depending on what. But let's make it easy. Let me just say each tray of chicken beef is 4 4-ounce servings for me, right? It's generally around 20 bucks. It's $5 for pre-cooked chicken or beef. That's, that's $5 for 4 meals. It's worth my time to already have the pre-made chicken. Now, the huge difference between Trifecta and MegaFit is I think both companies sous vide their chicken and their beef because of their texture is spot on, soft, tender. Trifecta does not season their protein, whereas Trifecta already does. And it's apples or oranges. I sometimes really am like, hey, I really want it super plain. I'm going to add flavoring to my chicken. I'm going to add flavoring to my beef. So Trifecta is the route for me since it's already plain. Other times right now, I don't have time. I don't want to think about seasoning. I really enjoy the MegaFit meal seasoning for their beef and their chicken. There's a little flavoring. And so both are great. Both companies also, you do not have a entrance fee. So you can sign up for MegaFit, you can sign up for Trifecta, and there's no like, hey, one-time initiation fee. And you also don't have to order every week. You can just order once a month. MegaFit meals, you can, like their app, the way that works is you can just kind of every 4 weeks, you kind of just basically like manipulate your app so that it's a reoccurring. It's going to ask you every week and you can say no up to 4 weeks. Whereas Trifecta, you can call them and say, hey, can you just make my subscription auto renewal every month instead of every week? And like they're really, really quick to respond. So those are kind of my like pros and cons and how I think about it. A lot of it is like, how much is your time worth, right? How much is your time worth? If you are not, I don't know, wanting to think about your protein, but you're going to be eating turkey, beef, steak, chicken every week, fish, and you have other things to do besides being in front of the kitchen and making sure that your meat is perfect, these are great viable options. So for me, if I do the math and I don't eat chicken every day, but let's just make it easy, right? If I eat chicken every day for lunch and I eat beef every day for lunch, right? So 7 servings of beef, right? So let's just say 4 trays. I'm doing the math. This is really like, that's the hardest part about this. It's like, it's not really even hard, but it's basically 1, 2, 3, 7 times 7 chicken, right? Times 4. I need 28 servings of, chicken, and I need 28 servings of beef. Each tray is 4 servings. So in short, I need 7, right? 7 packages of chicken and 7 packages of beef for the month, 14 trays. And then obviously 14 trays multiplied by 20, that's it. Like, and it makes me feel better that like worst comes to worst, if I get busy, I don't fail. Because that's like the number one thing people turn to. It's like, oh, I got busy. And I refuse for my health and my goals and my time to be compromised because I got busy. And that's the crazy thing that I just have to say is that like all adults are busy. Like that's the name of the game when you're multitasking, job, parent. Like it's not if you're busy, it's how busy and like how functional are you busy. And I'm so obsessed with women in particular building systems that work when they can't, because it's not if they're going to get busy, it's when they're going to get busy. And then also what's going to take the hit from the busyness? Is it your family? Is it your health? Is it your money? Right? And so hopefully I answer a few of these questions. What's up, Brandon? Hi, Charmaine. I hope you're feeling better, babe. And I know I come kind of harsh, but like this is like my one thing is like for a longest time, I wish I could be like the fun fit girl. And I am. I love fitness, but like here's the math of success when it comes to like wellness, right? Like we may or may not work out once or twice a day. The average person is working one time a day. And then the average person is eating 3 times a day. If you're like, I don't know, trying to do smaller meals, then maybe you're eating 4 or 5 times a day, right? 3 meals and 2 snacks. Well, if I'm like, hey, there are two people, right? This person wins this many times. This person wins this many times. Who's the winner? It's really simple math. And then like if you're able to, it's not about being perfect, but if you're able to find a sustainable like workout routine 3 to 5 times a week, and you're able to find, a decent food routine, right, 80% of the time, 90% of the time, and generally you're winning in fitness and you're winning in food, well, guess what? Now you're winning this many times, right? Whereas the fitness person who wants to just work out, never mind their crap diet, this is how many times they're winning. Most people, the truth, they have not found a functional system where they can eat 80-20 or 90-10, like 4 or 5 times a day. Like this is where like, I don't know, if I was a better marketer, I could tell the world like this is absolutely doable if you weren't yo-yo dieting, if you weren't trying, right? There's so many people who are like, I'm going to be good. Yeah, you're going to be good. You're going to go 110 with your diet 10% of the time. And then 90% of the time, you're either going to be too hungry, too overwhelmed, too done. You're breaking up with yourself. And then it's this constant battle of going 110%, 10% of the time. And then like, who knows where you are versus like if you are able to create a food system, right? So here are some tangible things. Maybe you don't subscribe to a meal prep program every week. Maybe once a month you get, 10 meals, and bare minimum, if you get busy, when you get busy, you have those meals good to go, and it's just a fail safe. That's number one. It's just there, right? It's kind of like the people who have money and they're like, oh, I just take 20% out of my paycheck and there it is. Like you don't think about it. That's one version. The other version is really just having a system of like, are you looking at the way you fail? Most people don't want to look at their failures because they're ashamed. I love failing. I love looking at my failures because it's my opportunity for growth. If I'm constantly failing at my dinners, then I know that my area of opportunity is to find a system for my dinners. If I'm constantly failing on Fridays because maybe I go out with my friends, then it's my area of opportunity to figure out my Fridays. I have a former client where she hates these pre-packed foods, and so her happy medium is subscribing to a meal prep thing where the food is it's not cooked, it's like a meal kit. So instead of like getting like a bunch of protein once or twice a month, she'll just get this meal kit. I forget what it's called, but it's kind of like it has the sauce and it has the spices and it has the chicken, and it just is her way of cooking without being overwhelmed. So there's lots of different ways to think about it, but in short, are these meal prep things worth it? If you break down the cost of 4 ounce servings of protein at $5 without tipping shipping, let's add shipping. Okay, so $7. Let's go high. We're in Hawaii. $7 plates, and I add rice or sweet potato and veggies, and all I have to do is eat it. That is a no-brainer for me. No problem. Like it's functional, it's tasty. I generally add my sauce, right? That's no brainer because $7 is worth hanging out with my clients longer. $7 is worth hanging out with my kids longer. Hell, $7 is worth staying at the gym longer because my food is taken care of. More than that, $7 is worth not going through the mental fatigue of thinking about my food, which so many people waste their time on, right? But it's a matter of your trade-offs of many people really love to cook. Many people, it's too unfamiliar just getting their protein, right? Many people are just stuck in their old ways. So that's my topic for today. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for joining me. If you want to see any of the things that I have in my kitchen that help kind of everything going on, here is my Amazon store. I think what I'll do is I'll go over kind of a list of my favorite meal prep appliances that make make the kitchen fun. But I appreciate you guys listening, and I would love questions or suggestions